Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Welcome to Getting Started with FactCite 123 Lingo. Let's get started. I'm Susan Gall. I'll be taking you on a quick tour of FactCite 123 Lingo today. FactCite 123 Lingo is the newest addition to FactCite Lincoln Library Online, which is a collection of databases for student research and learning. FactCite 123 Lingo was designed to support language learners with text in English and Spanish. We plan to add additional languages, so please send over your requests. You'll help us decide on which language to add next. Lingo was designed to support acquisition of academic vocabulary for students. It allows students to use their primary language as a bridge to develop literacy in a new language. And our screens were designed to provide a stigma-free option to support reading in curriculum areas for students of all ages. How did we accomplish the translation? We started with a mechanical translation, but we quickly realized there were a few problems. For example, the elephant's trunk was translated as the trunk of a car. The armadillo's shell was translated as a military weapon shell. So we engaged the services of Conchi Fajardo Hopkins. She's a English as a second language professor at John Carroll University, and she has also, during her career, taught in the K-12 environment, ESL, both in Maryland and in Ohio. She worked hard to keep the Spanish authentic, but also to keep the Spanish and English quite parallel so that it's easy for students to use the two languages side by side. Getting started with FactCite 123 is easy. We'll send you an onboarding email that tells you how to access your subscription. We have lesson plans that accompany the database. I'll be telling you a little bit more about that today. Share Getting Started with FactCite 123 Lingo with your teachers, with your students, and also with your families in your district who might be accessing it. And always feel free to email me, sgall@factsite.com, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions. Now let's get started. We're going to go live with FactCite 123. As I mentioned earlier, FactCite 123 Lingo is one of the collection of databases available in FactCite Lincoln Library Online. Depending on what's included in your subscription, you may see some or all of these icons. Each one of these represents a different database. Today, our focus is on this one, FactCite 123 Lingo. When you click on the Lingo icon, it takes you to the homepage for Lingo, which includes these 10 modules: biography, mythology, the elements, the planets, earth science, biomes, animals, countries, U.S. states, and landmarks. Each one of these modules is organized in the same way, so we'll look at one of them and you'll have an idea about how to use the product in all of the modules. At the bottom of every FactCite page, you'll see we have a footer where you'll find this text. Students may use with credit text and images on this site in homework assignments. We know you like to teach your students about copyright, and you can call their attention to that statement. We're giving them permission to use the images with credit, and the images can be saved by right-clicking. They come out with the caption and the credit, so your students can use them that way. Also, there's a link at the bottom of every page to our tips for teachers. This is where you find the lesson plans. We're also archiving our emails with lesson activities and other ideas for how to use FactCite. Here's a flashcard activity for Lingo, and here, FactCite 123 lesson plans. There are individual lesson plans for dozens of the FactCite 123 Lingo entries. Each one includes an activity in all 4 of the domains of language acquisition: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So check those out. Those will be really helpful to you as you get started with this database. Also, at the upper right corner of every FactCite page, you'll find the Add to Google Classroom icon. Teachers can use this to add any page or entry to their Google Classroom environment. Let's click into one of the modules. Animals is a very popular one, so I'll click in there. The module is organized according to the classification of animals in this case. See, we have lots of different animals for students to choose from, and we're always adding more. I'm clicking on the entry on frogs. Every FactCite 123 Lingo entry is presented by default in the page format. So you see here, this is an 11-page article. However, our early adopters have asked us to present the article in a scrolling format on one page. So any individual student on any device, a phone, an iPad, a tablet, desktop computer, can go to this top line here and click on one page, and that converts the presentation of the article to a single page. This requires scrolling, but the student can easily manage that, and then they can click back to page by page if they prefer. I'm going to use the page by page format for the demonstration. Also, every article includes the MLA citation, which your students can use in building a bibliography. Now let's learn about the unique interface that FactCite 123 Lingo offers. If you're working in a mouse environment, or if your individual student is working in a mouse environment, position the mouse pointer on a paragraph in the entry, depress the mouse key, and the Spanish language translation is revealed. When you release the mouse key, the translation goes away. If you're working in a touchscreen environment, the same thing. Touch your finger to the paragraph, the Spanish language is revealed. Take your finger away, the Spanish goes away. If your student prefers to have the default display Spanish rather than English, look for this symbol in the upper right, click here. The display language converts to Spanish. Click here, the English translation is revealed. Release the mouse key, the English goes away. Excuse me, the Spanish goes away. So that's how it works. It's pretty simple. Your students will enjoy using it, and I think it'll be a great support to them in learning English. And if you have students who are learning Spanish, it's a great resource for them as well. We hope you enjoy using FactCite 123 Lingo. Contact us anytime with your questions or suggestions. As I mentioned earlier, we are standing by to help you. Share with your teachers, students, and families. Contact us anytime with your questions. Click on Tips for Teachers to find the lessons. And thank you for joining us. Go forth and research using FactCite 123 Lingo. Thanks for being here today.